Hi everyone, it's Sunday, 12th, 2020, 5:46 a.m. and I wanted to talk about an idea for homeowners and for people all over the world. So this idea will be pretty much I was gonna say like 100% um, like free, but it's not because it will require um, a pump for the idea that I'm thinking. And it's very, very simple. And these units can be sold to homeowners. And basically, it's going to be something like this. Uh, but it's going to be, I should have said solar water filtering. So if I could find a good example of what I'm talking about, but it will mainly or basically um, my idea of this thing. If you look at some of these examples like this is a pretty good one. This is what I'm thinking about right here. Um, but I'm thinking about these things on top of the roof of the house, and people probably already came up with this idea. I'm not really sure, but this is mainly what I was thinking about. That was a good example, honestly. So, if you take a house for an example, and so basically, this is what I'm thinking here because I've seen examples of this. So imagine this thing on top of your roof of a home, and this PVC pipe or whatever it might be can go down to your living room, and it could fill up your water jug naturally over time and basically for free with the sun's heat. And the tray inside, it could be like a toilet with a leveler thing, so it could keep the water at a certain like level. So kind of like this. This is a good example. See how it's elevated, and then it runs down with the pipe, and then this is their drinking water right here. But imagine that on a home. So if we go to house, this is a good one right here, even though it's not like a real house or whatever. But if I open this, maybe this is not the best example, but whatever. Okay, so imagine like something like this that'll go on top, and then this can basically go out a little bit. It would have to go up and over, and it'll look like something like this. And then up here, you have the water tray, and then these will be the stands right here. This will be the stand right here and over here, and your water thing will be here. And basically, you'll have a PVC pipe going down to your house. In your living room, you have your water jug here, and basically this is where you'll get your water from. So you have your cup, person, bam, bam, getting the water. So now that's all it is. And basically you just leave it up there. But I guess it all depends on like certain research, like if any mildew or anything like that builds up over time on these water things. Because if it does, then this is a great example, by the way. This is Solar Water Filtration System Philippines. And there's a website, and the website can't be reached, but it's bayatenergy.co.uk. But it says Solar Water Filtration System Philippines Purification Life Savior Military something. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's all it really was. A lot of people out here in California have solar panels already, so that could act as pump to um, bring water up. So basically, this is not basically. Your water will run up. Your water will run up and be connected. Well, not like that, but it'll run up from the top of the roof and out, probably where this one that comes down from, and it'll basically fill that little jug up, obviously, and um, it'll do that naturally with a pump or something, and it'll keep it filled. So the water that we get from the city has been treated already, so it's perfect water to filterize to more purification. So all the residue and calcium or whatever the chemicals will stay in the tray. So it'll probably need some type of maintenance or whatever. Um, but yeah, I guess these things can have some type of casing around them so they won't look that ugly. Or I don't know, like a chimney like this right here, like this fireplace. It could be covered with concrete. That way it could hold a lot of or retain a lot of the heat during the day. And this process will happen. So like if you live in California, and then that will be, this idea will be perfect. But I think it will be perfect in any conditions or whatever. But yeah, wherever it's hot, right? And this will save us a lot of money in the long run as human beings and people, because what we have to do is we have to make a bunch of plastic bottles, and the water has to be poured into these bottles. They have to be shipped. A lot of stuff goes into doing this. So if these units are installed in a home, then the homeowner can save a lot of money. But that doesn't necessarily mean that these bottles will be discontinued. I'm not saying that, because if someone has to take water to a park or whatever, then obviously, they could go buy it. But this is just for like the home, this idea here. So yeah. So yeah, your water will be right here, nice and clean. But yeah, I was thinking about this, and I thought it was a good idea to share to, with the world, because we're not doing shit with our roofs. Look at this. And a lot of homes, they have their AC unit on the roof, like this. See that? So that's all it basically is, or it can be. I mean, see all this airflow stuff. That's how the mechanics will be. So see, there's already water going up there, and As a matter of fact, the AC units actually do take out some water. So I don't know if that water that the AC units discrete, if it's drinkable or not. But I guess that could be researched. But see, there's a bunch of units on top of the roofs already, and I don't know how it will look. I don't really care. This is just an idea that came to my mind, and I don't think I think a lot of people will spend the money for this, because a lot of people are spending money on solar um, panels for saving money on their electricity bill. What about water? If you spend $5,000 or something like that for a unit like this, then it would be pretty good in the long run. And I guess the longer it extends or the bigger it is across the roof, the more water that it will purify during the day for the homeowner. So, and not just that, but the water can be heated up if it's programmed that way, or if the homeowner wants more water. And I know they sell stuff like that already. Water filtering units. And I don't know how much they go for, but yeah, and I don't know how effective this idea will be, honestly. But this is a water treatment plant. Anyways, I was thinking about I was thinking about fucking getting like a shed like this, and doing it on top of a shed, and just to allow the clean water to go down here. But for experimental purposes, I'll probably end up doing it like this with a box and doing it on a small scale. But if you have a shed at home, you could do that on your shed. Build a stand on top of the roof so the water tray can be leveled, and that way it could filter out your water. So it's all about researching and finding the most easiest or whatever way to make one of these little things here. But honestly, if you go to like, you could get a plastic box, like a storage with the lid, the storage, the clear ones like this, and you could use one of these. See right here, there's price comparisons. They're very affordable, but I would recommend using some type of glass, and then you could buy a little one and put the little one in there, and you could connect the pump and all that stuff. But I don't know how complicated that would be and how much work it would require. But I guess if you could find a long one, you have more water being filtered out. And and I was thinking about some other stuff for this idea. So if you look at water, this is your container where you have your water and you want to filter out this water. It only has so much water surface, and only this area, or the area that the water is exposed on the top of the air, will be allowed to be vaporized or whatever, and turn into gas. And the stuff down here is not at work. It's not into effect until it it's only the stuff that is exposed to the air that will create the fog, So what I was thinking as an experimental type of thing, I don't know if it's more effective or not, but see, imagine if you had a tray like this and then you had another one. So I'll open this up. So imagine if you had another one like this, right? So now you have two. So the only reason I searched this clothing thing is because it's like a so it's pretty much like something like this. Something that absorbs the water. So now it will have more air tension as opposed to something stagnated like this. So with this, it'll probably absorb much quicker, and I'm trying to find a good illustration, but it's kind of like this. See how, like, if you dip a cloth in some water, that water will run up, and as the sun is hitting that, it'll dry it out, and therefore it will create the fog and purify the water much quicker, I think, than if the water was just left like this. So anyway, that being said, basically, like something like this can be introduced. See how this little spring thing, this handle's there? Then it can also have a like a rag that's in there, fully submerged. But I don't know how effective this idea will be. And it will go all the way down like that. And then you have the water, and some of the water will rise to the top of this like that. It will rise up. This handle, I can make it red for right now. The yellow will be the fabric. The water will go up, and then obviously, you know, you have the sun over here doing its thing. Like that. That type of idea. But I don't know, it would have to be tested to see and monitor which of these two would evaporate the water much faster, quicker. So an experiment would have to be performed for that. And then also observing if it creates mildew or something like that, or if this would be a good way to filter out the water much quicker. But if this cloth thing gets too exposed to water, will it create mildew, and will that affect your house? Or if this water were to go completely dry, and this cloth was left to dry 100% before refilling it again, so that any mildew or potential mildew buildup would die off, or be a preventative by drying this cloth before refilling again, then that could be an approach to filtering the water out much quicker. So, but yeah, it's a simple process, and once it's installed, the homeowner won't even have to think about it or worry about it. They would just show up, and if they want some purified water, they won't have to run to the fucking store and go buy that water. That water will be there already, and it's all basically filtered by solar with the sun. So anyway, hope you guys like this idea, and I know there's a lot of shit out there, a lot of ideas out there talking about all this shit, talking about all these things, but I guess no one's ideas are stupid or whatever. You know, we all have to just come up with the best possible um, way of doing this. Um, so so yeah, like there's a lot of examples online of people doing this type of stuff. So it's not. And look at this. It doesn't even have to be on top of a fucking house roof. You know, like if you think about it. But I was just thinking about that because the roof is exposed to the fucking sun. There's nothing blocking that, and it's super super hot. If I didn't mention that already, and also see because the science behind all this is water purification, filtering, and then if we go to diagram, it will show us like the mechanics of how this, you know, pretty much functions. And I'm gonna have to put cold and hot. That way we can see what's going on. And I'm not getting any results. I don't know why. Instead of diagram, I'm going to say science. Okay. Anyway, I'm not really getting anything, but basically, I seen one. If you look at this thing here, basically the dirty water is going to be heated by the sun, and then it has to go somewhere cold. So it's the opposite effect: hot to cold, cold and hot. It's like a battery. So batteries are the same way. Um, they have the positive and negative, um, hot and cold. That's why you have the hot wire and the black wire, right? That's the electrodes are fucking past whatever. Positive heat, energy enters gas, negative heat, whatever the fuck. We got negative and positive, magnets, positive and negative, south and north, whatever the fuck, repelling, repelling or attracting. So it's the same type of thing. So it's the same concept and all that other bullshit that comes along with all this science stuff. But it's interesting, but it's straightforward, simple shit. Anyway, I guess people don't really have to know all about this stuff. The main thing is, all people give a fuck about is, I want some clean fucking purified water. That's all you fucking motherfuckers worry about. You know? So anyway, so this would be a good one right here, a good little stand. I just noticed this. You know, this is a good way to have some style to your shed or your house. Even if this is fake right here, so you could put your unit up there for your water purification. And who gives a fuck how your house looks, right? At this point, who gives a fuck? Like, we're all picky about how shit looks like and shit like that, but I mean, it has to look nice, but yeah, anyway, that's all I wanted to share with all you, and I hope you guys like this. Have a blessed life. Stay hydrated and stay thirsty and be healthy. And God bless you all. Peace out.